Hello, welcome to Rotorian Films. My name is Aurelius, and today I just went and saw Mean Girls, the 2024 movie. And I had watched Mean Girls for the first time, the original one, the 2004 movie. I watched it for the first time, I believe, a couple months ago, and I really liked the movie. I was going through watching some movies, and I watched Mean Girls, and when I originally saw that they were making a new Mean Girls, my original thought was, no, no. You see, I am the type of person who does not like when you just make sequels and remakes of random movies, right? So when Top Gun Maverick came out, my initial thought, now I hadn't seen Top Gun, but my initial thought was, I am not going to go see a sequel to a 40-year-old movie. They're going to bomb that. And I was wrong about Top Gun Maverick. Heard a lot of people say really good things about Top Gun Maverick. Went and saw it, was very impressed. Very impressed. And so with Mean Girls, my initial thought was, no, I'm not going to go see a remake of a movie that was really good. No, of course not. No. But, I looked around, looked at some of the reviews, saw it was really good. Well, I don't know if I'd say people were saying it was really good, but I was hearing some positive things about it. So I thought to myself, hey, why don't I go watch it myself? And I watched it, and I really enjoyed it. Honestly, I'm not really the type of guy who likes musicals. Not at all. There are some musicals I like, but I think one notable example is I think one musical that everybody really likes is The Greatest Showman. I did not like that. Now, I will also preface that I watched it in 2018, and the reason I point that out is because back then my taste in movies were very different. I have seen so many more movies since 2018, and my taste in movies has very much changed. Back then, I was of the opinion that, musicals are stupid because you wouldn't be singing. But for me, I have changed that, and I think the biggest thing is Across the Spider-Verse has really changed my perspective on that. But I can now really appreciate the really big creative stuff that happens in a musical. And for me, I think the musical aspect, was the thing that really made this movie pop. And I know there is a Mean Girls musical, like a theatrical performance, like a stage theater, like a Broadway. I don't know if it played on Broadway. No idea. Never seen it before, so I can't compare it to that. But I can say that the updated. Well, first of all, it takes place in 2024, so 20 years after the original Mean Girls, and I think that it's updated, like modern day stuff, right? And having all that modern day stuff, they do play into that quite a bit, I think. With like social media and everybody having phones and all this stuff, they really and then they changed the story a little bit to incorporate that into it, to what like a more modern high school would be like. If you had a Regina George in a modern high school, I think it leans a little bit more into that. And so I think this remake is warranted, to be honest. I think the musical aspect really works. I really liked. There's a couple of songs I really enjoyed in the movie, and I think that this was a movie that is honestly, I would say, just as good as the original. Does it replace the original? Not by any means, no. I mean, the original is a very classic movie. I don't think you could really replace it. I think it really goes alongside it. And I think if you were thinking about, like, if you had 2004 and 2024 Mean Girls, I think there are reasons why you might watch the remake over the original in this one. And that's because it's a musical and because it has some things that are changed. Not everything, it's not a carbon copy, I'd say. That's the biggest thing. It's not a carbon copy of the original. And for me, that's fantastic. If you do something good and creative, then fantastic. That is worth praising in a movie. And the reason I don't like sequels and remakes are because usually it is carbon copies. With Disney movies, Disney remakes, carbon copies. This one is not. So I'd say I gave, so for my 1 to 10 ranking, that's the best I can do right now is 1 to 10 ranking. I gave it about a 7 out of 10. Now, I will say 7 out of 10 is not bad by any means on my standard. A 10 out of 10 is like reserved for very, very few movies. It is a perfect movie. 9 out of 10s are, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Wow. 8 is like, this is really, really good. 7 is, that was great. 6 was, eh. 5 is, okay, I'm bored. And then it just gets downhill from there. So I gave the original Mean Girls a 7, and I give this one a 7. So I think they're kind of on equal footing. 8s and 9s are usually reserved to the movies I really enjoy, like really, really love. I think this one was a really good one. Probably something I would rewatch, absolutely. And if you were on the fence, I'd say go see it. Go see this movie. If you were on the fence, if you like Mean Girls, I think you would enjoy this movie. If you like musicals, I think you would enjoy this movie. And if you have memorized, I've heard a couple of Mean Girls, like ultra fans, if you have like memorized the original one, probably don't go watch this movie because it does change things. And if you have like the entire movie memorized, basically, you know exactly what happens in every single scene, then you're not going to be able to follow this movie as well, because then you're just going to be pointing out all the things that they did wrong. This movie is, I think, its own thing. It's a retelling. It's not trying to be the original. It's trying to do its own thing. I think it does that very well. Thank you for watching. If you've seen Mean Girls, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Leave a like or subscribe if you want to see more of these. I do movie discussions every week. So subscribe if you guys want to see more of those. And we'll see you in the next video.